Hello Lunalas! We've been getting a lot of questions on how Interlunium came to be and how it got everyone together and so on. So me and my co-host Dom, you want to say hello?
Hello.
This is the voice of Amy Inagawa, everybody's favorite idol. We're going to be talking about the creation of Interlunium. We're going to talk about the whole process and hopefully without making this video too long and boring. First then, we'll talk about how this project actually came to be. It's a pretty simple story actually. I enjoy character design and I often will find myself sketching in typical lined paper, and I was just kind of like sketching, and I'm really into Idolmaster, Love Live, all kind of stuff like that. So I thought it'd be fun to draw an idol. So I just kind of randomly started sketching one, and I was like, she's so cute. And I was like, well, if she's an idol, she has to have group members. So then I jokingly drew another like 2, 3. I just kept going, and I realized that this was something I wanted to continue, and it was a really kind of spur of the moment thing. It was kind of surprising. I just jumped on board right away with my idea and carried it all the way through to the end, and that's how we got Interlunium. But yeah, that's how it all began, I guess, the very beginning. So going into concept art, which was really the first thing that really needed to happen, concept and art in general, before we could really start the project, because you know the characters have to be designed, you have to have your idols, you have to know what they're gonna look like. So what happened first is I actually sketched Rinko, and I worked on a headshot of what is now Rinko Hanazawa. Her name was actually not Rinko Hanazawa at first. Her first name was always Rinko, but her last name, I forget what it was now. But I had the idea for a cute girl with very messy, kind of puffy hair, and I gave her a little side braid because I didn't want her to look too plain. I had the idea of having really open, wide eyes. I wanted her to look really, really excited and unkempt, but still cute. What do you think of this initial character design?
I think it's very cute. I feel like the Rinko that we have now is relaxed but still very energetic. Yeah.
Then if we move on, it's just a picture of a full body. As you can see, I am no artist. I have no idea how anatomy works. So I just kind of drew body of what I imagined her clothes would look like. And I didn't know who was going to play Rinko at first, actually. I was under the intention that I was going to voice Rinko, but that didn't happen. So I drew her in a very comfortable sweater. I wanted her to look like she was relaxed, and I gave her leggings. As you can see, I have a little thing that says pattern in very messy handwriting. I gave her kind of frilly boots and a skirt that's longer in the back, because I think it's just a very relaxed, easy, kind of simple, thrown together look, and I thought it matched her really well for the character I had envisioned in my mind. Moving on to Junko, who was the second idol I created. I actually...
She's so sad.
She's depressed in this picture. I don't know what I was thinking. I gave her a really straight cut, as you can see, and it just does not look good at all. I wanted her to have messy bangs in the front, which again did not match with her unnecessarily straight haircut. Her face in general is still kind of similar. She has very defined lips, which I knew is something I wanted for her, but other than that, she has very sad eyes. When I first showed Dom was telling me how she looked sad, and I can't help but agree looking at it now. She makes me cry. But then we move on to the next concept of Junko, which is much more accurate to the Junko we love and know today. Confident, beautiful, very sharp eyes. Her hair, surprisingly, as you can tell, was actually meant to be short, only like shoulder length. I really like long hair. So whenever I actually drew this initial design of Junko, I still didn't know that I was going to be voicing her, but the moment I drew it, I actually fell deeply in love with her and the story I was kind of creating for her, and that's when I decided. I was like, I know I was gonna voice Rinko, but actually I'm gonna voice Junko, and that's kind of how that happened. And then after we changed her, after a long time of continuing to do concept art and such, we decided to extend the length of her hair quite a bit, because I prefer long hair and I think it fits her character a little better and helps to contrast her from the already short-haired Rinko and Canon.
Yeah.
Moving on to our beautiful Amy Inagawa. Do you want to talk about your own character, Dom?
Oh god. I remember talking about Amy with you back in December of last year and how we wanted her to be a... We'll blur this out in the audio, but
yeah.
And we wanted her to be like super duper two-faced. We wanted her to be like the peak of cute, and I know we wanted her to be blonde. We wanted her to have really big poofy long pigtails.
Yeah, and as you can see from the concept art, that's all really visible. We gave her the puffy pigtails. I decided to give her low pigtails because I just think low pigtails are so much better than high pigtails, am I right? And I can't draw wavy hair, so initially it was meant to be very puffy. Aru can draw, obviously, obviously a lot better than I can. So Aru made the pigtails much more wavy, which also works for her character because she's supposed to be very well maintained. And the scrunchies were always there.
They're always
how
pink
could you
scrunchies.
How could you forget Amy Inagawa's pink scrunchies? And as you can see, I drew her again like Junko with very defined lips because I wanted her to have that kind of like cute, innocent, but you know, slightly alluring pout. And then I also gave her very kind of droopy eyes, but not completely droopy, just a little like upheld. And I gave her blushy cheeks because how can you resist that cute girl, you know?
I think that a lot of the voice actors for the idols got to like pick birthdays and put like likes and dislikes for a lot of the girls.
They definitely did. I let a lot of the voice actors, I wanted them to feel like they had freedom in their own character. Because for me, for example, I feel like it's way more fun to voice a character that you feel like personal connection with. So I really wanted to make sure that all the voice actors had a chance to like look at them, and if they wanted to change anything about the design, they could, or like pick any certain colors like theme color, or you know, just general things like that, you know, help build up their character so it's someone they can have a more personal connection with. Moving on to everybody's favorite Korean idol, voiced by the beautiful Lily Pichu, Tanbi Han, who is from Korea. She, as you can see, has a very, very messy bun, slightly longer hair, and I just think she's adorable. There's not really much to comment about her. She looks really kind of similar. Her bangs now, of course, are definitely more 45-degree angle, but I think she looks very similar. You can definitely see, you know, where she came from in her design and how we got the beautiful girl that we know and love today.
Best girl.
And now we have the most dramatic of all transformations. You will not recognize this character by looking at her, except for the name. This is Kanan down in the bottom. This is what Kanan initially looked like before she went through her big transformation. And I kind of had the idea for, you know, long hair in the front. I always really like that with characters like, I don't know, like Rena Ryugu, I think kind of has a similar thing going on. And really short, kind of like spiky hair in the back. Not really spiky, but just like a tiny bit. I thought that would have been a really cute character design, and she's supposed to be really edgy, and her character wasn't built completely at first until actually the moment I heard Hikaru Station's voice. I was like, that is the voice I need for Kanan. And so before I completely went out of my way to get Hikaru, I actually started thinking about what kind of story I wanted for Kanan, and you guys don't know that yet, so I cannot share it with you. But then after I had the character a little more developed, I contacted her and she said yes, and then Aruseli and Hikaru fixed her and made her look a lot better than this concept. But yeah, this is what Transformation Thursday or Tuesday, whatever it is, looks like. The next we have is our beautiful Megumi-chan. Just Megumi, actually. I don't like honorifics in English media. But she is our, not even token, she's just our very Japanese style character. As you probably have seen with her character sheet, she's actually only half Japanese and the other half of her is British. She is voiced by the lovely little Jane Cakes. You can see a little bit of difference, but generally she stayed the same. Her hair used to be wavy. However, we made it completely stick straight because it fit more with her kind of like perfect, well-groomed image, I think.
I think that.
And overall, nothing else really changed about her. She looks roughly the same, I think, personally. Moving on is actually a character that we cut. Her name is Natsume. It was actually originally Minori. We changed it, and then we changed it back, but I haven't changed it back on this paper. Her name is Minori. She's no longer in the group. We cut her and replaced her for Liz's character, Chio, who I didn't draw. Liz actually created her completely by herself. So I will post some of the concept art here, but Liz took a really, really long time designing her. And so right off the bat, she was really, really perfect. I'm sure Liz went through a lot of concept mistakes and good ideas and then kind of combined them and to get the lovely little hamster loving idol we know and love today. So I love Chio a lot. She's so perfect and wonderful. Anyway, so you might wonder, like, how did you get proper concepts? Because you can probably tell by looking at my concepts are not very good. One of my friends, Saku, who you may know from our Twitter, she draws a lot of the chibi work, a lot of the kind of like random promotional stuff. She's really great. We're very good friends, so I actually contacted her and was like, hey, I have this idea. It's probably crazy. I don't know if anything will come of it, but I'm gonna try. Would you draw digital references of all these characters? And she was so gracious and did it super duper fast, and I'm super grateful. And then eventually we came across Araceli, who became our final artist, and she helped fix the characters up the rest of the way that we were going to. So for example, that's the point where Junko got her long hair and everyone just became more beautiful than I could have ever hoped. And Kanan then also went through her transformation at that point too. She just really became the girl, the cute little petal we all know and love today, I guess.